I genuinely thought I was doing everything right and my body just wasn't changing. Like, I was working out, I was trying to eat well, I was consistent enough that I felt like I should be seeing something, and I just wasn't. And it was confusing because from the outside, it looked like I was really making progress. I was so strong, I had it together, I was doing the thing. But if I'm being honest, I was just kind of doing whatever. Like, I was just like doing whatever seemed hardcore. Like, I'd go in and pick exercises based on how I felt that day or what I saw online or what looked hard enough to feel like I was doing something, feel the burn, maybe make me sore the next day. And I thought that was enough. I thought that was good. I think a lot of people have been here or are still. You're not doing nothing. You're actually putting in a lot of effort. It's just all over the place. Nothing was actually building on anything. And that's the part that gets to you because you feel like you're trying and you're not seeing it pay off. I was working so hard for little to no results. And the shift for me wasn't doing more. It was realizing that I wasn't actually training anything. I was just doing things. Here's what changed. I started focusing on actual movement patterns and training them. Like, I thought I knew how to squat, but I didn't. I was shifting into my lower back. My knees were all over the place. I wasn't controlling anything. I certainly wasn't going for heavy load. So I had to slow it down, learn the proper form, learn the mechanics of the movement and the function of the movement, learn how to sit into my hips, keep my ribs stacked, actually use my glutes, not my lower back. Same for deadlifts. My low back was so tight, I couldn't even get into my glutes properly. So I thought deadlifts were the problem. No, it's that I didn't know how to hinge. Deadlifts were the answer. I just had to slow down, put my ego aside, and learn how to hinge. So instead of just loading it and pushing through it, I had to back up, learn how to hinge, feel my hamstrings control the movement, not resist me at every point, and then repeat that over and over again until it actually felt right. And that's what a lot of people skip. I will be the first to say I did. They go straight to the hard stuff instead of the correct stuff because we're impatient and we want to just know. Speaking from experience, I stopped chasing novelty and embraced repetition. Instead of doing something new every time, I kept doing the same movements. Squats, hinges, presses, rows, pulls, and I just got better at them. Again, I learned the function of these movements and how my body naturally would move that I had to work with. Better control, better range, better strength. And that's how your body actually changes. Not doing 50 different things, not pulsing until your legs fall off. And I started to understand progressive overload, which just means you're not doing the same thing at the same level forever. You're either adding a little weight or controlling it a little bit more, adding another set, doing another rep, improving the movement, connecting more to it. Something is improving. Because before that, I would just go in, do a workout, feel tired, take something for the gram, and then leave. There was no progression. I started understanding mechanical tension, which I used to think just meant, just go as hard as you can. Like, if I was pushing myself out of breath, exhausted, I thought that's what it takes to change your body. Pain is weakness leaving the body, am I right? But it's actually not how hard you push yourself. It's about how well you challenge your muscles. So instead of just moving weight from point A to point B and hoping for the best, I started focusing on actually using a full range of motion, controlling it, not just surviving it. Being able to stop at any point and control it. Like getting deeper into a squat instead of cutting it short, dropping down and hurrying back out of it. Lowering the weight with control instead of just dropping into it. And then gradually adding load to that over time. Because that's what tells your body, hey, we need to adapt here. This seems to be something she does a lot. Let's make it efficient. Let's get stronger. Not just doing a hard workout, not just doing random junk volume, but actually giving your body something it can learn from and respond to. This was a big shift for me. I stopped thinking about how hard I could push myself and started focusing on how much I was actually progressing and giving my body a chance to learn, which means I had to know what progress even looked like. So I started fixing my breathing, which sounds simple, but it changed everything. Why do you think I'm always talking about your breath? because your core isn't just abs. It's how you stabilize your whole body. It's what holds your nervous system together so that whether or not you actually can get into a movement. So instead of just doing ab workouts, holding my breath and hoping for the best, I learned how to brace, how to exhale, how to keep everything stacked. I learned the mechanics, and I learned what my nervous system naturally wanted to fight so I could work with it. And suddenly, everything felt stronger and more controlled. I stopped seeing workouts as a way to burn calories, because you can burn calories doing anything. Like right now, I'm burning calories. I could be sleeping and I'm burning calories. But that doesn't mean you're building anything. So I started treating workouts like practice. Like, I'm here to build something, not just to get tired. I started seeing my body as a system, not just muscles that had to be trained in isolation, not just workouts here, food here, recovery over there, but everything worked together. If I wasn't sleeping well, I felt it in my training. If I wasn't eating enough, I couldn't get stronger. It all mattered. It all came together. Speaking of nutrition, I also changed how I ate. I was a vegan and vegetarian before, and I'm not saying you can't build muscle that way. You can, but it takes a lot of work and a lot of mental energy. For me, it made things so much harder. I had to work so hard to get one little bit of muscle. I had to constantly think about protein, plan everything, and at the same time, kind of use as an excuse to call anything healthy as long as it was vegan or vegetarian. Tell me if that sounds familiar. When I started eating meat again, it simplified everything. It was so efficient. It freed up so much mental capacity. I could actually support the muscle I was trying to build. I didn't have to work anywhere near as hard to see results. And I started understanding how macros actually affect my body and hormones, and how everything, stress, sleep, food affects your results. I also eventually stopped intermittent fasting, which had its benefits, but it wasn't supporting what I was trying to do. I started learning how my body actually moved, where I was tight, where I was compensating, where my nervous system didn't trust me yet. So instead of just jumping into a workout, forcing it into my body, I actually warmed my body up, opened up what was tight, activated what needed to be worked, and again, breathed, so I could actually move well when I trained. Again, not just survive it. And I know that sounds like a lot, but it's actually so much simpler than what you're probably doing right now. And now as a coach, I see this all the time. People don't need more workouts. They need better ones. They need to tailor it to their bodies. They need to learn how to move, build strength, build control, build capacity, take ownership, not just chase burn, soreness, or whatever's trending. So instead of trying to do everything, ask yourself, am I actually getting better at anything? Am I repeating movements enough to improve them? Am I getting stronger? Am I fueling my body for what I'm asking it to do? Do I feel better in my body? Because that's what moves you forward. And a lot of times it starts with humility and patience. Now I train completely different. I lift heavy, I train athletically, I recover faster, I feel strong, I feel confident. Things are challenges to my body, but not in a way where I beat it up, but in a way where I work with it. And the biggest shift, I have nothing to prove to anyone except myself. I'm just trying to do 1% better than last time. Me and myself, me and my body, we're working together on that. And that 1% can be a lot of things. Can be more weight lifted, can be better control, can be the weight, can be feeling better, better balance, more confidence, faster recovery, new movements, more consistency, better mindset. Progress isn't just a number on a scale. It's everything that leads to that. Because I went from constantly chasing results to actually building something. If you feel like you're stuck right now, there's a good chance you're not doing anything wrong. You're just not doing anything long enough for it to work. And once that clicks, everything gets a lot simpler. So ask yourself, what are you building? Where were you before? Where are you now? Are you working against your body, or are you learning about your body? When you go in to work out, do you have the mindset of slaying your body or to work with it to get stronger? Is it a form of punishment, or is it a chance to progress? Our bodies hold so much more in them than we will ever realize. They carry the stress of things that we don't even remember. So trying to force something on your body that it is not ready to handle, or it has not properly been given the tools, you're only going to keep yourself stuck, get more and more frustrated, and feel like you're not making any progress. So my challenge to you, build something. Build your body.